Let's get something straight from the beginning. This is not a conversation about biology. This is a conversation about power. It's about healing. It's about identity, dignity, and reclaiming what the world, or someone else, may have tried to take from you. When we ask, can the virginity come back? We're not really asking about anatomy. We're asking, can I feel whole again? Can I undo the damage? Can I restore my worth after I gave away something too soon or it was taken from me? And the answer is loud, clear, and undeniable. Yes. Yes, you can. Virginity, in the way most people talk about it, is way too simplified. It's boxed into this physical act, this one-time event, like it defines you. But your value, your essence, your self-worth, that goes way beyond a moment. Virginity isn't just about your body. It's about your boundaries. It's about your control. It's about your ability to choose who, when, why, and how. And guess what? Even if you've lost it, even if you gave it away in a moment of confusion or pain or pressure, you can get your power back. You can decide today that your story's not over and that your next chapter will be written with intention, not regret. People act like once you cross a line, that's it. No going back, no reset, no redemption. But life doesn't work like that. If it did, nobody would ever recover from anything. Think about it. People have rebuilt after bankruptcy, addiction, prison, heartbreak, trauma. And yet somehow we've told people, especially women, that once they've lost their virginity, they've lost something they can't reclaim, that they're now less than, that they're tainted, that they should carry shame forever. And that is a lie passed down by culture, by control, and by fear. And it's time to break it. You are not damaged goods. You are not your past. You are not your choices, your pain, or what someone else did to you. You are a whole human being with the power to start over at any moment you decide. That's what this is really about. It's not about turning back time. It's about turning back to yourself. Looking in the mirror and saying, I forgive you, I love you, and I will protect you now. That's the shift. That's the moment when everything starts to change. When you stop carrying the shame and start carrying the strength. Because here's the truth. Virginity is not a label. It's not a scarlet letter. It's not a badge of honor or a mark of shame. It's not something anyone else can define for you. It's yours. It always was. And even if someone tried to take that choice away, they didn't take you. They didn't take your future. They didn't take your spirit. And no matter what's happened, you can come back stronger, wiser, more grounded, and more powerful than ever before. You can reclaim the part of you that forgot she was sacred. You can rebuild the boundaries. You can walk back into your life with your head high and your heart healed. You see, we've been trained to believe that our worth is wrapped up in perfection, in being untouched, in having a flawless story, and never making mistakes. But life isn't perfect, and neither are we. And that's exactly what makes us beautiful. It's not your perfection that makes you valuable. It's your resilience, your ability to stand back up after something broke you, your ability to love yourself again after you lost your way. That's power. That's real. That's what healing looks like. Because let me tell you something, shame doesn't belong to you. Guilt doesn't get to live in your house forever. At some point, you've got to kick those things out and make room for grace. We don't talk about grace enough. We talk about judgment. We talk about standards. We talk about expectations. But grace is the gift you give yourself when the world tells you you're not enough. Grace is what you pour into your spirit when your past tries to haunt you. Grace is how you break the cycle of self-hate. Because if you're going to ask, can the virginity come back? What you're really asking is, can I forgive myself? And the answer is yes, but you've got to be the one to give yourself that forgiveness. Nobody else can hand it to you. You've got to decide, I'm done punishing myself. I'm done reliving the moment. I'm done carrying the weight of something I can't change. Now let's talk about identity. Because when you tie your value to your sexual history, you're playing small. You are not your past experiences. You are not defined by a single night, a single decision, or a single mistake. You are layered, complex, intelligent, and emotional. You are growth and progress, and every part of you, even the messy parts, are still worthy of love and respect. You're not broken. You're human. You've been through some things. You've learned. You've grown. And that makes you more valuable, not less. It gives you empathy. It gives you depth. It gives you something to say when someone else needs to know they're not alone. And for the people who've been violated, for the ones who didn't choose, this message hits different because you weren't reckless. You weren't irresponsible. You were hurt. And if that's you, hear me. What happened to you was not your fault. It didn't steal your worth. It didn't take your innocence. You're still whole. You're still pure. You're still sacred. And no matter what anyone says, your body is not the measure of your purity. Your spirit is. And that can never be taken from you, ever. You deserve to heal. You deserve to walk without shame. You deserve to feel safe in your own skin again. And you will. Rebuilding isn't just possible, it's necessary. It's how you reclaim your voice. It's how you rewrite the story. It's how you tell yourself, I am not stuck in what happened. I'm stepping into what's next. And what's next? That's the part you get to decide. You get to decide who you are now. You get to draw new lines. You get to create new standards. You get to say, this is what I allow into my life from here on out. That's not about virginity. That's about power. That's about self-respect. That's about ownership of your own body, your own energy, your own life. Confidence isn't born from what you've never done. It's born from what you've survived. It's born from walking through pain and still choosing to believe in your future. So many people think they have to undo the past in order to feel strong. No, what you have to do is own it. Own every part of your story, not because you're proud of every chapter, but because hiding in shame keeps you stuck in it. Owning it says, this happened, but it doesn't define me. I'm still here, I'm still standing, and I'm still worthy of everything good. That's confidence. That's the energy that makes you unstoppable. Let's talk about the words you say to yourself, because that internal dialogue, it matters more than anything else. You could walk into a room full of applause, but if your own mind is telling you you're not enough, you won't believe any of it. And I get it. Maybe someone told you that giving your body away meant you gave up your worth. Maybe you internalize that. Maybe you replay it every single day like a broken record. But that voice isn't truth. It's trauma. It's programming. And you have the power to replace it. You can literally retrain your brain to say something new, something better, something that lifts you instead of bearing you. Start saying this: I am whole. I am healed. I am growing. I am enough. And say it even when you don't feel it, especially when you don't feel it, because your mind believes what it hears repeatedly. Your new truth needs a voice. And guess what? That voice is yours. You don't need approval to heal. You don't need permission to shift. And you definitely don't need to explain your journey to anyone who doesn't respect your growth. Let them judge, let them whisper. You just keep rising, because no one else lives inside your body. No one else wakes up inside your mind, and no one else is responsible for your peace but you. And let's be real, some of you are carrying shame that doesn't even belong to you. You inherited it. From parents, from religion, from partners, from outdated narratives that never took your healing into account. But just because something was taught to you doesn't mean it was right. And just because someone made you feel dirty doesn't mean you were. Shame is a lie that wants to stick. But truth will set you free every single time. And the truth is, you are not less because of what you've done or what happened to you. You are still worthy, still lovable, still powerful, still good. Let's flip the script. Virginity isn't a finish line or a prize. It's a decision. And decisions can be made again. Every day you wake up, you can choose how you show up in your body. You can choose what you give and what you guard. You can choose how you treat yourself. You can choose to live with intention. You can say, from this point on, I'm protecting my energy like it's gold. I'm not handing myself over to people who don't deserve me. I'm not proving my worth through my body. I already am worthy. That is your reset. That is your reclaiming. That is how the virginity comes back, not in a literal sense, but in the way that really matters, the sense of power, ownership, and dignity. Boundaries are not walls to keep love out. They are filters to keep chaos out. And when you've been through pain, when you've given parts of yourself away that you wish you hadn't, you learn just how sacred your space is. You learn that not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves your story. Not everyone deserves your body. Boundaries are how you say, I respect myself too much to let you come in here and wreck what I'm building. Because healing requires protection, restoration requires silence, and growth requires choosing you over and over again, especially when it's hard. When you're healing, the people around you matter. You can't reclaim your power while staying connected to people who keep you in cycles of guilt, shame, and confusion. You can't become a new version of yourself while trying to please the people who liked the old, broken version. Some people aren't going to like this new you, the one who sets standards, the one who says no, the one who won't settle for being used, lied to, or controlled. Let him go. Let him get uncomfortable. Because you're not shrinking anymore just to make other people comfortable. Let's talk about romantic relationships for a second, because this right here is where a lot of people get stuck. They're trying to heal, but they keep going back to the same kind of person that broke them. Why? Because the pain feels familiar, because the pattern is predictable. But listen, familiar doesn't mean healthy. Predictable doesn't mean safe. If someone makes you question your worth, makes you feel guilty for having boundaries, or makes you beg for the bare minimum, that's not love, that's manipulation. And you can't heal in the same environment that hurt you. You've got to get out, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually, completely. You are not here to be someone's temporary fix. You are not here to be someone's entertainment, someone's project, or someone's outlet for control. You are here to be loved deeply, respected fully, and chosen intentionally. And until you believe you deserve that, you'll keep settling for less. That's why this healing work is so crucial, because once you see your value, really see it, you'll stop tolerating nonsense. You'll stop calling dysfunction chemistry. You'll stop mistaking trauma bonds for connection, and you'll start building relationships that align with who you are becoming, not who you were when you were broken. Let's get brutally honest here. Your standards teach people how to treat you. If you don't honor your body, they won't. If you don't protect your mind, they won't. If you don't know your worth, they'll tell you what they think it is. And it'll always be lower than the truth. So raise the bar, not out of pride, but out of self-love, out of the understanding that your energy is precious, your time is expensive, your peace is priceless. You don't owe anybody access to you, not because you're rude or cold, but because you're finally awake. And let me say this, for the people who need it most, you can start over. You don't have to stay trapped in your past relationships, your past behavior, your past regrets. You are not a lost cause. You are not too far gone. You're not damaged, unlovable, or broken beyond repair. You are a masterpiece in progress. You are a woman rising, and every single choice you make from this moment forward is a step in the direction of freedom, peace, and real love. Reconnecting with yourself after you've been through pain is one of the bravest things you can do. It's not flashy, it's not loud, it's not something people will clap for, but it's powerful because what you're doing is pulling yourself back home mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You're saying, I deserve to feel safe in my own body. I deserve to trust myself again. I deserve to look in the mirror and love what I see, not because I'm perfect, but because I'm mine. That reconnection, that's where the real healing starts, not in other people's validation, not in someone else loving you, but in you choosing to come back to you. And let's talk about discipline. Because healing isn't just emotional, it's practical. It takes work, it takes routines, it takes saying no when your body wants to say yes. It takes walking away when your heart wants to stay. It takes shutting off the phone, turning off the noise, and sitting with yourself long enough to hear the truth. Discipline is how you rewire the story. It's how you build trust with yourself again. It's how you prove every single day that you're not who you used to be. You're who you're becoming. And the beautiful part, discipline isn't about punishment. It's about alignment. It's about finally choosing what serves your future instead of feeding your past. Start small. Get honest with yourself. Where are you leaking your energy? Who are you giving your time to that drains you instead of fuels you? What habits are keeping you stuck in a version of yourself you don't even like? These are the questions that change everything, because when you answer them truthfully, you take back control. You stop waiting for someone to rescue you. You stop hoping for a savior, and you realize you are the one you've been waiting for. That shift right there, that's when your life starts to change. Rebuilding your life doesn't happen overnight. It's not a straight path. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days you'll feel like quitting. That's normal. That's part of it. But don't let those hard days trick you into believing you haven't made progress. You have. Every time you choose peace over chaos, silence over noise, healing over hiding, you win. You grow. You evolve. And that growth adds up. It builds strength. It builds confidence. It builds a future that actually reflects your worth instead of one that was built out of fear and pain. And let's talk about self-respect, because that's what this whole journey comes back to. Not the kind of respect that demands applause or attention, but the kind that shows up when no one's watching. The kind that makes you walk away from people who don't value you. The kind that says, I don't need to prove anything. I am something. Self-respect is how you stop the cycle. It's how you protect your peace. It's how you create space for the life you were meant to live, not the one you settled for when you didn't know any better. This journey you're on, it's sacred, it's personal, and it's powerful. You're not just healing, you're transforming. You're rewriting every lie that ever told you that you weren't enough. You're reclaiming every piece of yourself that was lost, silenced, or ignored. You're standing taller, speaking clearer, and choosing wiser. That's not weakness, that's real strength. That's what happens when you stop running from your past and start building your future on purpose. Trust starts with you. A lot of people want to trust others again, but they haven't learned how to trust themselves first. And that's where the real work is. It's in rebuilding that inner knowing that says, I've got me. Because when you've made choices you regret, when you've been hurt or used or abandoned, it's easy to stop believing in your own instincts. You second guess everything. You stop listening to your gut. You overthink every move. But let's get something straight. You're not broken. You're learning. You didn't fail. You're evolving. You didn't lose your ability to make good choices. You just need to reconnect with your intuition. And the more you show up for yourself with consistency and compassion, the louder that inner voice becomes. Then comes forgiveness. And this part, it's heavy. Because forgiveness is messy. It's not a one-time decision. It's not something you do just to say you did it. It's something you practice. It's something you live. And it starts with you. You've got to forgive yourself for what you didn't know, for the times you settled, for the times you ignored the red flags, for the times you let loneliness make your decision. That's not weakness. That's human. But now you know better. Now you've got the awareness. And that means you don't need to keep punishing yourself for who you were. You get to love her, thank her, and move on. And what about forgiving others? Let's be clear. It doesn't mean you excuse what they did. It doesn't mean you pretend it didn't hurt. It means you stop letting them control your peace. It means you stop giving them space in your head and heart. Because as long as you hold on to that anger, they still have a grip on your energy. And they don't deserve that. Forgiveness is how you say, I'm not holding on to this poison anymore. I'm clearing it out. I'm choosing freedom. I'm choosing me. You do it for your healing, not for their comfort. Now, let's talk about love, because once you heal, you don't just want any kind of love. You want real love, love that respects your boundaries, love that honors your journey, love that sees your worth without needing you to perform or prove. And guess what? That love starts with you. The more you love yourself, the less you'll tolerate relationships that feel like begging, shrinking, or surviving. You'll recognize red flags faster, you'll walk away quicker, and you'll attract people who meet you where you are, not where you used to be when you didn't know your value. But here's the kicker. Don't wait until love shows up to treat yourself right. Do it now. Dress like you respect your body. Speak like you believe in your power. Rest like your peace matters. Protect your space like it's sacred, because it is. You teach the world how to treat you by how you treat yourself. And the more you embody that self-love, the more magnetic you become, not just to romantic partners, but to the right friends, the right opportunities, the right environments that match your growth. And if you're wondering whether you'll ever find someone who truly values you after all you've been through, the answer is yes, but only after you value you. Only after you stop hiding parts of yourself to make other people feel comfortable. Only after you stop watering yourself down to be accepted. When you show up fully as you, flawed, real, healing, honest, you give the world permission to either rise to meet you or step aside. And that's where the magic happens. That's when you stop chasing love and start attracting it.
All right, let's bring this all the way home. You've walked through truth, healing, ownership, discipline, self-love, forgiveness, boundaries, and a brand new identity. Now it's time to seal it in. Here's the powerful conclusion of Can the Virginity Come Back? Delivered with every ounce of truth, strength, and unapologetic fire you've earned along the way. Yes, the virginity can come back. But not the way they told you, not by rewinding the past, not by erasing your choices. It comes back in the way that matters most, through your power, through your discipline, through your decision to reclaim what you thought was lost. It comes back when you stop defining your value by what's been done to you or by you, and you start defining it by what's rising inside you. The real reset button, it's in your mind. In your ability to say, that version of me, she was doing her best. But this version, she's different now. She knows her worth. She walks like it. She talks like it. She protects it. You're not damaged. You're not ruined. You're not used up. You're reborn. Every single time you choose healing over hiding, peace over people-pleasing, dignity over desperation, you rewrite your story. You step into a kind of confidence that nobody can take away. And that's the part of you that can come back. The innocence, the joy, the self-respect, the sacredness of your body and your soul, they never truly left. They were just buried under pain, shame, and bad programming. But now you've dug them up. Now you've dusted them off. Now you've remembered who the hell you are. You are not defined by your past. You are designed by your purpose. And everything you've been through, it didn't disqualify you, it equipped you. It taught you how to fight for yourself. It taught you how to stand tall when everything tried to break you. And most importantly, it taught you how to look at your reflection and say, I'm still here. I still matter. I still deserve the absolute best. So from this point forward, this is your standard. You don't beg. You don't chase. You don't settle. You don't silence yourself to be liked. You don't hand your body over like it's a transaction. You don't build your worth on someone else's validation. You don't measure your value in guilt or shame. You stand tall. You speak boldly. You protect your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. And you remember this truth. You are allowed to start over again and again, as many times as it takes. The virginity comes back when you decide that your body is sacred, that your mind is a temple, that your soul is worth more than any moment of weakness. It comes back when you stop performing for love and start being love, when you stop surviving in shame and start living in purpose. That's the real reset. That's the rebirth. That's the woman you're becoming. Not soft, not ashamed, not small, but strong, clear, whole, unapologetically powerful. This is your time now. You're not looking back. You're not explaining yourself. You're not carrying anything that doesn't serve your next level. You are moving forward with grace and grit. And no matter what's happened, you can always come back to you because you were never lost. You were always becoming. And now you've arrived.